Conservation District. I saw that you had a farm and I wanted to talk to you about the Voluntary Stewardship Program.
So I don't really know anything about conservation districts. What kind of stuff do they do?
Well, let me tell you a bit about our programs. For the Voluntary Stewardship Program this year, we have created about 160 new ISP plans. We've been doing landowner surveys to document what conservation practices they've done since 2011, as well as take the opportunity to make some recommendations. Due to COVID-19, we have been creating virtual workshops and posting them to YouTube. So far, we've completed one on drip irrigation and one on tree pruning, and we are currently creating one on proper horse nutrition, as well as documenting the experience of a blueberry farmer in Lewis County. So I will show you a clip from some of our videos.
The soil is heavy and clay, you just don't have that kind of an opportunity. It's pretty unbeatable ground, and should never be doing anything other than agriculture. And I have to admit, an important objective in my life was to stop the development of Mossy Rock up there and leave the rest of this silt loam for agriculture, and didn't work. Some of this is going into housing and whatever development. It's an unfortunate use of this valuable ground, actually.
The sun comes up, as the weather is good, the grass is producing carbohydrates. So during the day, those carbohydrates get increase, and then the sun goes down, so long as it's more than 40 degrees at night, those carbohydrates get transferred and converted into a more complex carbohydrate, the starches. So those starches are less readily available, so they're much safer to eat. So probably the time to put your horses out would be very early in the morning. You know, this is interesting because it also happens for like just you're haying. So you're cutting a huge field of hay, you're out there all day long. The stuff you cut in the morning is going to have a different carbohydrate level, different part of the field than the stuff you cut in the afternoon or the evening. So
this is some drip irrigation. It's on right now. These are cantaloupes, and this is okra over here. We're inside of a hoop house. This is heat-loving plants in the side of this hoop house. This drip irrigation is on. You can see it's dripping at a rate of about 1 to 3 drips per second is what you want. And it's on the right pressure, meaning I can squeeze it flat with quite a bit of force, like this. But these rows are 250 feet, and it's nice for people to know that you can irrigate T-tape at rows up to 400 feet, as long as you have a slope of less than 12 degrees. And so depending on your pump system and your filtration system, which we'll go over later, but you can irrigate. There are farms that irrigate 5 acres of strawberries all at once off one system, and then they'll irrigate another 5 acres the next day.
We've been working with cooperators to create about 10 new farm plans. We found that one great thing about VSP is that it's allowed us to make contact with landowners who we haven't had contact with in the past. From this, we've actually gotten a lot more interest in getting on our farm plan list. We've completed 4 fish passage projects this year. This has included a box culvert on China Creek, a bridge on Scammon Creek, and a culvert replacement and berm removal on a trib to Middle Fork, Newaukum. So in order to save time, I'm just going to highlight one project on Berwick Creek in Chehalis. The landowner's driveway was washing out every year during high water and would prevent her from leaving the house. This project involves replacing 2 downstream culverts with a bridge and completely removing the upstream culvert. The site was a huge success story because we had tried to get it funded for 4 years. We also placed 4 root wads in the stream in order to create fish habitat. For the CREP program, we currently have 83 contracts to get riparian buffers and hedgerows established. We haven't been getting many requests to join the program due to COVID-19. Our focus is currently on assisting cooperators that want to re-enroll in the program. There's a lot of turnover and new landowners taking over contracts. Another project that we assisted with this year was converting a farm from hand lines to K lines, which is much more efficient at saving water. The farmer is a third-generation owner of a 198-acre organic dairy in Curtis, Washington. He irrigates about 75 acres of grass for pasture and hay out of the South Fork Chehalis River. We've also installed 6 fish screens for landowners that are irrigating in the Chehalis Basin. We purchased a grain belt in partnership with a group of regional farmers in the Southwest Washington Growers Co-op. The belt will be used to transfer malted barley from trucks to rail cars. The rail spur on the Port of Chehalis property has been completed, and the port has established a pattern of rail cars so that our locally grown barley can be loaded and delivered to Great Western Malting in Vancouver. For our Orca funds, we installed 110 drain guards on storm drains that lead directly into China Creek and Centralia. After a rain event, there was an estimated 53 gallons of dirt, leaves, and garbage pulled out of the drain guards, and you'll be able to see that in some of these photos. The guards will be cleaned of debris periodically.
Well, thanks for participating, and I'll be in touch about that farm plan.
Thank you for all the info. I really appreciate it.